All right, so part B has a sneaky question that's been asked a few times on the free response we've seen so far. This says, when the height of the water is 3 feet, is the rate of change of the height of the water with respect to time increasing or decreasing? Explain your reasoning. All right, so they're asking, is the rate of change increasing or decreasing? All right, so if it's a positive rate, is that rate getting bigger and bigger and bigger, increasing? Or flip that over, all right, is it getting smaller and smaller and smaller, decreasing? It is not asking about speed. That would be a really common misconception with this one. All right, so I'm going to start out with the rate that we know, dH dt, equals negative 1 over 10 root h. All right, now they're asking whether this is increasing or decreasing, so I'm going to take its derivative. So the second derivative of h with respect to t is going to be negative 1/10 times 1 over 2 root h times dH dt. Now we're taking the derivative with respect to t, so when we see that h there, we still need a dH dt with that. Forgetting that piece is probably one of the most common errors that occurs in this problem. From here, they specifically said at 3 feet. So we're looking d2h dt2 when h equals 3. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in a 3 into each of my h's. And for dH dt, I'm going to do a substitution here because we know that's negative 1/10 root h. And our h value in this is going to be 3. So again, we're substituting in for that dH dt. We're putting in a negative 1/10 root h. Right, because we know that's what dH dt equals. Now, from here, this actually works out really nicely because things clean up pretty well. The root 3 and the root 3 cancel. All right, the negative and the negative, because it's all multiplications, become a positive. Across the top, I only have 1s. Across the bottom, I have a 10, 2, and a 10. So that's going to be 200. All right, so d2h, the second derivative of h with respect to time, is 1/200, which is positive. All right, so this is greater than 0. So if the second derivative is greater than 0, that means that the rate is going to be increasing. All right, because again, the rate is dH dt. We're taking the derivative of that. The derivative of that is positive, so it's increasing. So now I'm going to go ahead and explain my response. So it asks, is it increasing or decreasing? So we're going to say the rate of change of the height of water with respect to time is increasing when h equals 3. And I'm going to go ahead with a because d2h dt2 is greater than 0. Right, now that is up above, but because it said explain your reasoning, I'm going to go ahead and give that add little piece with this as to why I know that's true. So that takes us through B. I think this is probably the quickest, cleanest answer to B. Again, all of these will have alternate ways we can work through it. We just have to be really careful with making sure that we don't make any mathematical errors in our process. All right, so that was part B. I'll be back in the next section with part C.